Okay, so we've had a couple of clients ask us how the heck we got connected and how this whole thing works. So, nutrition awareness, I started it back in 2012 or something like that. My maiden last name is Ware, so nutrition awareness. I think a lot of you have got that, but now my last name is Pachekai, and it has absolutely nothing to do with the name. But, so how did Kate come on board? I think I noticed you first at a meeting for dietitians, and I think that was the first time we talked, and she came up to me and was like, hey, how can I get involved with this organization, which no one ever does. So that was great. So I was like, okay, like maybe you can run our social media or something like that. So you started doing that, and then I just noticed all the stuff that she was doing on social media and all the videos that she was putting out, all the content she was putting out, and at the time you were working as a clinical dietitian.
Yes.
And from my perspective in private practice, I was like, she's just wasting all of this talent. You know?
Really?
I'm like, she needs to be like in private practice working with people one-on-one, because those are the people that are going to really benefit from all of this knowledge that you're putting out there. And so then I reached out to her and was like, so like, you want to like do this together?
And I was like, yeah.
I don't know, how did it go from your perspective?
Pretty much just like that, because it was at our professional nutrition dietitian organization. I was fresh to Orlando, just moved here from St. Louis, Missouri. I was like, I'm gonna get involved. You know, I had bright eyes, fresh in the field, new dietitian. Came up because Megan was president of our organization, and I was like, I think you had announced like at the meeting or whatever that they needed a social media person, and I was like, done, do it. I want to get involved. And then I was working as a clinical dietitian, and I remember I loved the education. So when people are in the hospital, they get consults from their doctors to be educated about diets for heart health, for transplants, for oncology, basically anything. And that was really what I loved to do, and I figured out really quickly, like, okay, yeah, this is what I want to do all the time. Because when you work in the hospital, and Megan worked at the same hospital years before I did, there's a lot of not so fun things, I guess. I think some people find them fun, but I didn't. I don't think you did either. You know, calculating
people that are type A people who are like really good with numbers and like have to have a routine and a schedule, and they're really, really good at that. But if you like every single day to be different, it can be very mundane, and you kind of get caught up in like being behind your computer doing all the charting and that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's the thing a lot of people who've never worked in a hospital don't realize. If the job was just seeing patients and talking to nurses and talking to doctors, it would be a lot more fun. But for every patient or interaction that you have to chart it. And it takes so much time. So while the fun part is being up on the units with patients and people, eventually you have to go in front of a laptop and just chart the same things. And it was an awesome job. I loved it. But I think both of us can agree it just wasn't the right fit for our personalities. And if you're a real people person, it's just a lot of time in front of a computer that you don't want to spend. So I was a boot camp instructor, like kind of tipping my toes in that water. And the boot camp instructors encourage, like in this little organization, we're like, oh, you know, we'll send people to you because you're a dietitian. So I would sit down with them at like Starbucks. I met people at Whole Foods, and they would just, you know, give me cash to give them diet advice, which probably is not legal. So I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. And then I think my boss at the hospital knew you, and she gave you my name, and you had a list of names. And
no, I had already had you on my list, because like one of the things I had learned from a business coach was if you come across anyone, whether it's someone who like the hostess at a restaurant or anyone that you meet that you think would be a great addition to your team, like put them on a list. And I remember you were already on that list, and then our, I guess, mutual coworker had also said to me like, hey, Kate's trying to like do her own thing, like do you think she'd be a good fit for you? And then it was like both of those things came together. You kept showing up in my Instagram feed, and I'm like, I gotta reach out to her.
I was pesky. Here I am again.
Which is what you're really good at, and which I think you make a really great addition to the team, because you're good with video and you're excited and all the things that I'm not great at, so
yeah,
we balance each other out. So that's how she joined the team. You went full-time last
March. It's been actually
exactly
a year a few days ago. It showed up on my Facebook thing. I remember it was St. Patrick's Day weekend, and I had my last day at the hospital that Friday, and I was downtown for St. Patrick's Day telling everyone, I'm like, I just quit my job. Oh, we got dogs here. So yeah, it was almost a year ago. So
Okay, so for those of you that were asking, that's the story.
that's the story.